Hello, everybody at Crystal Heart. It's your boy, the Psyguy, here introducing the PRs for the mid division for a bunch of mid tier coaches and just a very mid video. Joined here by my friends Hades of Ender and Freetle
Yo.
for Wii U.
Ooh. If the Hades is bad, I'm good, so we're combined mid.
Yeah. Size
That is,
mid.
that is
I'm
true.
dog shit. Friedel's okay. Like he's pretty good, I guess. So we combine to mid.
It evens
Oh
out.
my
true.
god, it's crystal. I just realized it's crystal meth. How long is it? Who changed those?
It was that for the last. It
When we
was
were
that for the
doing them,
Logan PRs too.
Was it that for the last one?
it's been
Yes.
that way for like for like a week.
I didn't look at the
Yeah.
fucking title slides.
I was wondering
Anyway,
when
this
someone
is
would
the
notice.
Crystal Meth Season 7 PRs for the
Yeah.
Necros one.
We're ready to get into it with last place. You've all seen it coming. We have Deadpool. My problems. You have two mons over 100, and they're both 101 speed. I have written down. Is that right? Thunder T is 101. Semaphore is 101. Yeah. Which one of those
Yes.
isn't exactly the best mon? And then you have one fairy resist, one water resist on a rain team, so you're strengthening their water types. Wait, that's wrong.
They have two water. He has,
He
Yeah.
has two
he has
very good
four
Wait,
water
water
you
resist.
have four. What?
Yeah.
He has six.
Okay,
He
why
has
did I write
six.
water? I have him written as one dragon check. That is true. I don't know what this water. I must have wrote the wrong type. Is it ice? I think it might have been ice, not water, and I miswrote it. But yeah, I was looking and I'm like, hang on, that water seems wrong in my notes. But yeah, it's definitely
Yes,
ice.
it is just ice and it's semi-porn, which
Which
is coming to every game because of Deadpool.
and you have one dragon check, which is not good. And then your hazards are mid. You have Archu rocks, Mega Pert rocks, which it's a good enough, I guess, but not great. And then your removal's only defog, which again, I guess it's fine. Don't love that though. And overall, it's just a very bad rank team, and you need like at least 5 changes to even make it start looking good. Like that's what
So
I'd
I
say.
personally have a lot of confidence that this team will be, in fact, making 15th place. No higher, no lower, and
Did you used to say
I'm rooting
14th?
for it. I
I
really
could have
am.
sworn you said 14th. Fast.
Nope, 15th place, and I'm rooting for
Someone
him
do.
all day.
Wait, who the fuck is finishing lower?
I don't know, but we'll find out. Has he won a game yet? Actually, no, he hasn't. He lost both. Spoilers.
No, I thought he won his first. I thought he won his first one.
Okay. I don't really want to cut around, so I'll look at that in the background while
I'll
we
check.
talk about 15th.
No, he won one.
Oh my
Who
god.
lost?
Who lost?
Yeah, he did win a game.
Wait, who lost?
Wasn't me.
Where's
Come on. How long you taking?
Cookie lost? Cookie lost
Oh
to
my
Deadpool.
god, Cookie's ass. Going into 15th, we have Kezias. We were all pretty much in agreement that the team's very low. In my notes, I have it's like a very weird half stall team, and then that speed gap goes from 143 all the way down to 95, which is insane. And wait, who? Yeah, and then after the 95, it's still down quite a bit. I think it's like 60 something. Just looking at the Mons, I don't have his team pulled up perfectly. Also, don't like that there's no grounded poison and only one fairy resist. And then your fighting resists are Mega Zam and Golisopod. As well as, even after all that, only one rocker and no spin blocker. So just the team has a lot of these small problems that add up fast. And then just no real
This
Uber.
team is really. This team is really weird.
No real round
Again,
one
it
Uber
has
is
like
another
almost
thing.
no like synchronization at all. It looked like you were going stall in the beginning and then you just switched off at the end. But it's just a very strange team and it's not very good. You could easily fix it with a
The
few
only
changes.
stall
But
mons are like Blissey, Dozo, Mandy. Other than that, it's not really stall. But like, yeah, it feels close.
Why are they the Terras? Surely there was like
That's a
a better
great
Terra you could
question.
have picked.
Yeah, like Terra
Like
Zera
this
Aura,
isn't Zera Aura. Yeah, Zera
which
Aura is legal.
will be 19 instead of 16, I guess. But you could definitely
overall,
make
it's
that
just
work.
a weird team. The speed tiers are off. There's a lot of stuff going on with this team, and none of
Yeah,
it's right.
just lots of problems. Moving on, we have okay, let me read my notes word for word. This team is abysmal dog shit. But it has Gigantamax Kingler, so it's broken. And that's the end of my thoughts there. Really, honestly, team's just broken. It has a Kingler.
Yeah, so I was trying to put this team in first place, but my agent really advised against it, so I had to give it 15th place.
We had
But
to
is
like
just-
shit on this team just so people didn't realize how good it really is.
This team is interesting. It's just all very frail, hard-hitting, fast mons.
Yeah, I
You
know
set up
Destroyer
Trick Room
tried
into this
very
team and you're
hard
pretty
when
much
building this team.
guaranteed winning. But watch out for the Kingler. It cannot G-Max.
I do well. They don't need to know that. Anyways, to our next real team. Who said that? 13th we have Cutie Fox, which team looks good on it, just like looking at it. But then you're completely missing good speed with your fastest mon being 110, and it's a Latios. Who Latios is okay, but that's your fastest, and you don't have anything in that 100 range either. And then other than that, the team's very bulky, and you have ways to punish like things that sub up on Aloe because you have Melm with Terra. You're a fine team, I guess, but like that speed is so bad.
Yeah, this team is weird. The hazards aren't. I mean, I guess Groudon can set hazards, but it doesn't really want to. Hazards aren't really great on this
No
team.
spin blocker either.
Also, no spin blocker. Terra Melmetal is Terra Melmetal, and that is very scary in its own respect. But this team is just very slow. It would really like a Trick Room pivot setter also.
Aside from the poor hazards, I don't really hate this team that much. Like,
no, it's more workable than the last few.
Yeah.
I think it's like easily 13. Whereas the other three could maybe be mixed around a bit.
Yeah, like I very much see this team as win cons.
Yeah.
And it's like flip turn, get in, big mon.
With that said, that speed is a very real problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Trick Room and you have Rock Polish, but don't love that. Even then, after all that, your only priority is Sucker Punch on Skuntank with this low speed. That's not great.
No, Aqua.
Aqua Aloe, you're right. My bad game.
There's really no way to outspeed Arceus on this team unless you're running Scarf Latios. You're not going to want to Scarf Ho-Ho, and then everybody else
Scarf
is just too slow
isn't
for that
bad,
kind of thing anyway.
I feel like you have to Scarf Latios almost
one,
any
like,
fucking
that's the
every
only
matchup.
one, then you're locked every game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like this team just has very clear problems.
It's the speed, mostly for me.
Yeah, it's the speed. Moving on, we have 12th, which is Cookie, who we all agreed except for Block, who did not quite like your team as much. Sadly, we won't know why. But yeah, Arceus Fire with no good removal. Your only removal is Glimora and Tornadus. And I guess Arc Fire technically. Which
yeah, but you're still eating those hazards every time you come in.
Yeah, and then you have a very good top three, I'd say. Your top three are very good, and then it falls off so hard. Other than Sinistra. I fuck with Sinistra, I fuck with Amok. Azu's usable. But I don't know if they really work together. You have no momentum and some decent fat, but you're kind of just missing
I think another issue I have with this team is like the top three are great, but then everything else after that, they're all good mons, but they're not great mons. Like you don't have any midpoint tier mons for the for the tier. Like you have your Ubers and then you just kind of fall off right to like shitter mons. And I guess
Glimora's
not really
good. I'm a huge Glim hater.
No.
You're paying 14 points for a fucking suicide lead 90% of the time? Because that's like your only real hazards. I mean, unless you're bringing Earthworm or Tinkatuff. Or you're putting rocks on your Arc Fire. You know, the mon that loves being a defensive Arceus.
I just feel like it's not even that it's too top heavy, but it's like you're just making up for your
I'd
extra
say it
roster
was
spots at the
top
end.
heavy, and then it would have been a good top heavy. But
It
instead,
falls
after
off
the
for
first
that
three,
a little bit.
you backpedaled and went, "Hold up, I don't have any points left. Let me draft only mid tier for the
Yeah.
mid tier mons." I'd say.
Yeah.
Let me grab only mons that tend to go undrafted. kind of.
Yeah, and he also has like no mons in between that 19 to 15 point range that are just really typically good mons. He just falls off of that whole tier of mons and goes from high point tier to low mid tier.
It's like you bring your top three:
And
Sinistra, Azumarill,
Tornadoes
A
isn't
Muck,
gonna.
and then you swap out either Azu or A Muck for Glimora if you want hazards, or if it has a really good rock
Mhm.
polished game.
Yeah. There's
Maybe
a
you bring
lot of
Torn,
things that
but like Torn's 7 for a reason. He's been mad falling off.
Yeah, he's not good. Overall, though, I can see this team kick popping
Yeah.
off.
Any thoughts, Freetle?
I think it's just in general not great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the shit removal is really bad for this team.
Definitely.
Zygarde is deathly afraid of T-Spike because that is its entire.
It can
That's
run
pretty much
rest.
the entire Zygarde cooked.
It can run rust, and he has both an Amok and
Yeah.
Glim. I don't know if T Spike's its biggest issue. And I feel like
It's
you're
more
always
so
bringing
rock
you're always bringing one of your
fire.
poisons.
Like-
so how much are
Yeah.
you really bringing T Spike?
But also one of them is usually gone in like the first
True,
6 turns.
but I mean like in a prep
Mhm.
scenario, are you looking at this team and going, I'm bringing T Spike into Amok Glimora?
True, but I'm just saying with how shit the removal is overall.
Mm-hmm.
Like these monsters really don't appreciate T-Spike. They don't appreciate rocks. They don't
They
appreciate.
definitely don't
spikes.
appreciate webs. Webs would fuck this team up.
Yeah,
The
Oh
only thing
yeah,
not
Webs
winning
fucks
webs.
is Tangle
You
Venom
see
is
webs, you
Torn.
have to bring
Yeah,
Tornadus.
because-
Oof.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
also
you
the
could
top
spin the
three.
webs away with Gomorrah,
The
but
top three
it could
are
also be
the
blocked.
top three pretty much can't even run boots because Zygarde is just not a guy you want boots on.
Yeah, I mean you can, I guess.
Zygarde does.
but-
Zygarde doesn't like switching around. Zygarde likes to come in once and win the game that one time.
I mean, if you're being sweeper Zyg, I'd say yes. If you're more of a defensive, like a coil set to just check physical bonds, you could maybe be
Yeah,
boots.
I mean that can
rest
Yeah.
work, but
Yeah, the team's not that.
Like-
It's not horrible. Like I definitely see where it has its uses. Those top three
Yeah.
should be able to win games alone. But
Yeah. Again, my
it's here
issue
for a
is just
reason.
it falls off hard. It falls off hard after those top three. Aside
Yeah.
from that, the team I could see this team pulling a fair amount of wins for the season, maybe even making playoffs.
And after this, I think most of the teams are just. I think every other team's just a
but
step
keep in
above.
mind the player also did lose to Deadpool.
Yeah, so
So-
honestly, he should be lower.
Oh shit.
With that said, moving on to 11th, we have Ma, who I like slightly more than everyone else, it seems. What I have written down is personally don't love the Uber pairing, but it's like not bad. I can't like I have written down. I can't actually call it bad. My main issues with this is like any amount with Ice Beam plus Flamethrower cooks your whole team. Like
Yeah.
the whole team is gone, which is very rough. And you have a very
Well, Lunala kind of
very solid top 7 as well. I have written down, which
Mm-hmm.
I guess Obulova is useful. But like,
Cricketune is just what you're getting out of one player.
yeah.
No more, no less.
I fucked with Arboliva.
I
think
don't.
it's a pretty good
I
mod.
wish you had a different ground type than a second dragon, like maybe a fatter one. I think. Well, I'd say like one that could tank an
I
ice
mean, he
beam.
has 2 dragons. He has
Mhm.
2 dragons.
Yeah.
already.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm saying
you
drop
probably get
Garchomp
an
because you
effective
already
one.
have Arc Dragon.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Also,
they're like a tier ground type.
the removal's very mid. It's Defog Sizz, it's Defog Arceus Dragon. Ugh, what's going on?
It's just defog. Yeah, that's it.
And 4-2 Defoggers is your only removal. You have no grounded poison, which is not
Yeah.
great. Like one of your megas, I guess it really hurts Lunala unless you're boots, which I guess Lunala does like boots if it's not choice locked.
Lunala likes boots. Yeah.
But I also love specs and scarf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
like
even
yeah, I definitely
leftovers.
think you want a poison because like
I mean, I
these
think.
spikes and even regular spikes are very good in TU.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played this guy for fun before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
I just brought my bottom 6 and clicked T spikes, and I won 3-0.
His poison is a Terra Arboliva, which means you have a 19-point Enamorous that's not terroring. Which I think Enamorous is
Mhm.
even Terra Enam I think is kind of overrated, honestly. But
There was something I noticed with his roster that was kind of weak. What was it?
yeah, anything I didn't point out that you guys think is like why it's a bit lower than I have it?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
outside of Warcry,
his
I mean,
ground
the
checks
team.
are
I
ass.
get the speed tier. I guess the speed's not too bad on this team. The
I don't know about
removal
that.
is really
Mega
good.
Scissor's a good ground check. Freetle,
It's
I'd
not.
say Mega
It's not a
Scissor.
resist.
That's
Like
true.
if it's a strong ground, Mega Scizor can't always switch in safely,
Yeah, it's
especially
like
since it's taking hazard. Especially since it's probably taking hazards.
I think he could be fine
Mhm.
between Mega Scizor, Enamorous, and then a Balloon on Tinkaton, who does love Balloon. You got that Balloon pickpocket.
Yeah, like he could be fine,
And
but
Arbo
also
will work, I guess. I don't really like him bringing Arbo though.
like it can be made to work, but it's also just not ideal.
Yeah.
At all.
That's it for that team. Going into 10th, we have Omei, who me and Friedel have at 9, Psy and Black have at 10, evening out 9.5. That gives you a 10. I love that you took Shedinja just to fuck over anyone who wanted to try Terra Shedinja. I don't think anyone wanted to, but it's still very funny to me.
So, like, looking at this team, those top 6 are really good mons, each in their own respect. I
Yeah.
wonder.
I have very
So
good
long.
offense written down, but I also have very passive defense. Hex is sub fodder, Ferrothorn is sub fodder. I guess you have like Weavile with triple axle, which could be nice to punish, but I feel like a lot of the time that takes 2 axles to break the sub, and then the third one's doing a good amount, but not quite great.
And Landers is a solid defensive, but
Yeah, I have written down. It feels like you did hyper offense, then slap 2 random fat asses on. Those random fat asses being Toxapex and Ferrothorn. Blanket check
I think
mons, which
another
isn't the
issue.
worst. It's not bad per se. It's just it doesn't really feel like it meshes well. It's still like it's a good team. It's
yeah,
very usable.
Another issue I have with this team is the removal is essentially non-existent. I think it's
It's
just Lando
defog
T and
or
Arceus.
spin on Ferrothorn. Sorry, Smeargle.
Yeah, he's running
defog
spin
Xerneas
on
as well,
Squirtle.
which isn't bad for Scarf
Oh,
Zone, I
okay.
guess.
Guess it does go defog. So it's just 3 mons that don't really want to run defog. The
and,
most willing
and
to run it would probably be Lando.
And a spinner.
Lando was fine with running defog, I think, but still not come up to him.
Yeah, you don't love
Like,
that
I
as your
think
only one.
this team would be better if it had like just some instead of Pharaoh Hex, if it had like toys. I think toys would be much better for this team.
Toys?
Blastoise.
Yes, Blastoise.
Toys.
I will say I feel like there's a non-zero chance that he just runs Boots Cern, Boots Zekrom, Boots Pex, Boots
Boots Weavile.
Weavile. And like he doesn't really need removal, but also I don't think you love locking into that a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
And Zekrom's usually fine with it, but Xerneas especially likes choice items, I think.
Zern loves its choice
Like
item.
a
Or at least doing like some Calm Mind, maybe. But like typically that speed tier, you like
Realistically,
your
his
choice
best
item.
removal mon is Lando, and then he's wanting to run a defensive Lando almost every game to keep his defog up. And then
Yeah.
defog, like he
Which means you
has
want good
so much
ice switch
effort
in,
on
which
this
means you
team.
want Pex.
Yeah.
So like you
Like he
see where
has
this is
really
kind
good
of
effort
forcing
on this
these
team,
mounts together. And if you like
and then he just
Pex,
has no
it means
spin.
you're sub fodder. or at
Mhm.
least taunt fodder if you're like not scared of a burn. But
Yeah.
overall, the team's usable. So
Overall, pick up Blastoise. Still available. Tentacle's
going
not. Otherwise, I'd say that.
Tentacruel's the goat. But going into 9th, we have
No, Tentacle got grabbed.
Juz, who I did not like. Freetle didn't love. Block didn't love either. But Psyguy really likes this team. Do you want to
Yeah,
go
those
why you like this so much before Freetle and I dig into it?
Every mon on this team is fantastic. He had an excellent speed tier. He's got good removal. He's got good hazard.
I want you to look at Aurora's
He's
and tell
got
me it's
fair.
fantastic
Yeah, he's
again.
okay. Aurora's is the last two are kind of where it falls off, and the low kicks would like Terra. Overall, though, I think this team is excellent. He has some of the best Ubers, all the way up to Dragapult. His fourth mon. Gliscor and Moltres are both excellent Terra captains. It does fall off with the last three. He could have probably used those. What is that?
I think the last three is kind of
18 points,
what.
17 points better.
Yeah, I think that could change him from where I have him in 11th to like all the way up to 5th or something, where you have him if he fixed those last three.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have written
Overall, though,
down,
I can see.
team struggles a lot with electrics and rocks. Your only electric checks are Dragapult, who's relatively frail, and then your Terra Gliscor, who also has a quad weakness in an HP meta. I'd also change Aurorus to a real mon, because like the only people losing to that are shitters. I mean, I don't know why Aurorus is 3. I will say that this mon should be like 2 or something. What, you doing Veil with your quad weak to fucking fighting? You're weak to EQ. You're weak to steal for some reason.
Yeah, quad weak to steal also. Yeah, I would like Terra, but whatever.
This
For the
team
3
feels
points.
very matchup dependent as well as what I have written
Can
down.
Aurora set Stealth Rock? Does Aurora get rocks or no?
It does, I believe. Yeah,
It does. Yeah.
It does.
It doesn't. I will say it doesn't have a bulky ghost or dark check. Your only ghost and dark check is low kicks.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
think that
very
was
bad in
advantage
Ubers.
we agreed on.
Like in Ubers, where there's a lot of broken psychics as well, and your psychic checks. I guess Mega Metagross is fine, but there's a lot of broken ghosts, like Spectre. I guess Spectrier, like the Giratinas are good into you.
You were gonna say Dragapult, but he's probably had it.
He has Dragapult, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I heard you. You paused for a second. You were probably gonna say Dragapult.
I was trying to think of a better ghost as an example. To be fair, but
did my last thing cut out?
Were you gonna mention the no grounded poison?
Yeah, I was just saying no grounded poison with arc water.
Yeah, no grounded poison with arc water, no spinner either. Like your only removal is defog on your Terra captains.
Yeah. Which they are both very good at defogging, but yeah, I think
who's setting your hazards then? Your hazard setter's Gliscor.
Yeah.
So you're setting your hazards and removing them right after? And then you're not using Terra Gliscor to its max potential with the mix of its sets. I don't know. I think you rated this team way too high.
The last 3 round, this team would be a lot higher. I still really like this team, and I think it's an excellent team, and it's going to go far. But I think overall, those last 3 do need to switch around.
I definitely think you just stuck to 5 because you didn't like me telling you about how all the team's problems.
No, I really do like this team.
I think it should. You should change around the bottom 4. I don't think the Moltres makes sense here.
I don't think it
does nothing to help the team's weaknesses.
I mean, like he does already have 2 fucking fairy resists, which is like that's what else does Moltres resist for you? Like fighting, I guess. You have
covers like ground.
Yeah, I don't know what Moltres is doing here.
You've got arc water. Yeah, like what is the Moltres doing?
I don't think it's horrible though. It's a cool Terra Captain, but I don't really.
Yeah, it's a cool Terra Captain.
I think you 100% need to change the last 3. You could change Moltres as well.
Like Overquill. Get Overquill. It's only 1 point more than
Overquill will be very nice, actually. That covers a lot of our problems. More hazards. It doesn't cover the spin problem, but like you could get a 3-point spinner, which isn't great, but at least you have something.
And if you're dropping the Moltres, you can just get like what spinners left? All right.
He definitely
Both
wants
of
a
you two
spinner on this team with how many hazard,
All right.
how much hazards he
Two-
could set up.
All right. You two have to race for Blastoise now. You and the last guy. Let's go.
Moving on,
Real.
we have this asshole.
Oh no!
Look how high he placed himself, dude. He placed himself 9th. That's like the midway point. He thinks he's better than half of you.
Real. No, this is easily the best team. You guys just, again, my agent advised me to keep it in 9th place, but this is really the best team, and it's gonna cook. Just you wait.
I don't really want to give my advice because you already fucking changed it, so it doesn't really matter. but I'll go over it anyways. I'll just read my notes and then maybe just skip past after that. But very strong offense, but you lack real bulk and your pivot. Your pivot is Iron Moth, it's Treads, it's Coco. It's all this offensive pivot, which is not very good for your super, like, you don't have the bulky pivots to get things in, which you don't. I feel like you'd really like. Your low tiers, the bottom two specifically, Spite Ops is good for your team, but the Lickitung and Regis make no sense here. And the offense just isn't quite there for an Uber's metagame. Like, it's hyper offense, but not strong enough for Uber's hyper offense. And then your hazards are pretty mid, considering your only spinner is also your only rocks, and your only spin blocker is a mon you really don't want to risk coming in as a spin blocker.
Hey, doesn't Rayquaza get rocks?
It does.
It's never wanting to run it, but it does.
Do you want rock or Rayquaza?
No.
I mean, like, when I've seen that ran on ladder where it's fine because you have 5 other Ubers, which is you don't have here. But the mons itself are good. I have written down. I do love the speed tiers. Also, not weak to anything overall, other than most of your checks are just frail. So, like, it's just, it feels not bulky enough for how its offense is, like, okay but not amazing.
I think my issue is it doesn't hit hard enough to justify being as frail as it is.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. Which is a good thing we went and changed that a bit. I think your new team's better. Oh god, I'm black. Okay, hello, we're back.
Yep.
This team allowed for Flygon to be a kill leader.
Oh my god, yeah, you're fucking ass. Never mind. Actually, this team.
I know.
Put it down to 6.
We're moving it to fucking. Hang on.
At least Deadpool didn't lose. At least Deadpool didn't lose to Flygon.
Yeah.
Yet, to be fair.
True.
Anyways, moving on.
No, the team does have a lot of issues though.
Yeah.
It looks good on paper. It looks like a nice terrain team, but the terrain's just not that powerful.
This kill leader board is so you got Mega Mewtwo Y, Zacian, Mewtwo X, Arceus Rock, Flygon.
So we can move on to the next guy, which is 7th place. Onto the top half, we have Ace, which we kind of all agreed this is like a middle tier team. A second ranked team, and one that's not absolute dog shit. Already so much better than the last one. My biggest problem are definitely that the only ground check is Zapdos, which is very usable, but I feel like you love offensive Zapdos in rain. All the like 50-50 ish, but it feels like you kind of always need to be defensive for the ground type.
He's also only got Defog on Zapdos and Arceus, I guess, but
so like Zapdos is locked into this bulky set, even on offensive.
Yeah, which I feel like you don't want with.
And then your only electric check on your rain team is Sandy Shocks, who's relatively frail. As well as
he's very frail.
Both your fairy resists are your bottom 2 mons. One of them's fake. Oh, unless you like Terra Rapid Fu into like poison or something. And you're only one real hazard mon being Shocks. So it feels like Shocks and Dark. Arc Dark can run rocks, actually. That's my bad. I should have written that down. Also, you're very grass weak outside of the bottom 2 and then Zapdos again. So it feels like there's just a lot of pressure on the Zapdos to perform every week. So like you're always loading top 2, you're always loading Zapdos, you're always loading Shocks. That leaves you 2 wiggle rooms. And are you really not bringing your Urshi Rapid Strike or your fucking Basculegion?
So outside of that, I do think the speed tiers on this team are very good. I think it has a lot of offensive potential. Just those top 4, just those top 5 in rain. I mean, again, it is punching the whole time.
Oh yeah, the team does have great offensive pressure with Zacian, Basculegion, late game, Urshi, Rapid Strike, Rain to help everything.
It seems like the main point of most of our points is just outspeed and overpower.
Yeah, I feel like if you can win before you get worn down, I guess technically you don't need hazard control. That's good.
I mean, even if you get worn down, you've got the Mr. Fuck you, you're winning, but now I'm winning.
Yeah, the either agility or you're in rain, swift swim, or your scarf. Yeah, everyone needs a good normal type to check Basculegion or a very good dark.
They're a normal type with water.
Like a big issue with this team is like you could be doing your thing and causing a lot of damage, but when you're forced to switch, a lot of the time you're getting penalized. Depending on what you're being switched into.
You just have to play your end games, like your opponents have to play their end games very carefully, which is very annoying.
Oh,
overall,
shit.
I can see this team doing very well though, despite having its issues.
Okay. That.
This team gets cooked by dry skin Heliolisk.
I bet you Basculegion psychic things or whatever it gets fucking blows it back, or like double edge.
Okay, that's probably true, but
it is very funny. Moving on to 6th, we have Big Blaze, who even averages out to 6th with 2 higher, 1 lower, or 1 higher, 2 at 6, and 1 lower. I have written down, I love, very solid team, love the Uber duo. Arc Steel, Gara O feels like a very good defensive Uber duo. I do wish you had a more offensive third one, but even both of these have their offensive options. I don't love that your only removal is Giratina. That is not great. Like, I know you're bringing it every week, but now it has to be clicking Defog every week.
Arceus, one of them is running Defog, yeah. He's got court change, but that's not really reliable.
Yeah, I do know. Our court change is so... You're spending a turn...
I mean, I think...
Fucking
my thing with it is I think
and then you get your own back
Steel and Giratina are... I think Arceus, Steel, and Giratina are fine to click Defog.
Yeah, between the two of them, one of them is going to run.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 6th for a reason. It's a problem, but why the fuck are you playing Wordle, Freetle?
Another thing I don't like about this team is the hazards are decent. You know, you have Overquill's a Terra Captain. I mean, I guess they're not really.
Yeah, I love his hazards. I wish he had a spinner then, because of all of his hazards. You need a spinner so you're not defogging your spikes. You have 2 good spikers. You don't have great rocks. You have Arc Steel. You have
I think it's just Terra for rocks.
Terra, Arc Steel, not great rocks, but you have 2 spikers that both can run them. A good T-spiker if you need. And then, like, the best spin blocker in the game, I'd argue. So, like, I think this team will work if piloted well.
Terra captains on this team too. I do like.
Yeah. G Darm. I feel like that would break past even Fizdef, like Arceus. I could see it break.
Yeah.
That sounds like one flinch away or a little bit of chip.
And then Overquill's
Webs on this team.
But he doesn't. Webs would be nice, but like. I feel like you've changed your bottom 3 to get a spinner, maybe a 1-point Weber over slacking, because it's a fucking slacking, it's not doing shit.
And then, you're not bringing
it. You do still need a ground.
Okay, but...
Maybe you can keep
Terra. But... the fucking high base stat normals with bad abilities, they're kind of goated 1-point Terra Caps, let's be honest.
I don't know about... Okay, you just want me to say Regigigas is good. Listen, if Slacking got a way to change its ability, I'd love it.
I have faith in Slacking.
It can pick up a kill, and the opponent gets a free DD. And then they protect when you go for that next kill, so they get a second DD.
No.
I mean, if this team had webs, like Choice Band Garm with Terra is just fucking
I mean, Scarf
GG's.
with Terra Ice is still going to be plenty for most teams.
Yeah.
I mean, like Band Terra Ground EQ is a 2-co on fucking max Fist FRCS.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see this
It
team
lacks
cooking
its
for sure, making
speed
playoffs.
without band is
And that's-
a big thing.
And that's for things. And that's for RCS where they resist Bicycle Crash because they other ones just get 2-ko by that.
But going into our top 5 now, my first note is how the fuck did you get Arc Fairy on pick 6? I argue this is a mon that should be gone in the first 3, but like very strongly, especially on our board specifically. But then, like, especially first, it went first in both other divs, so I don't know how you snag that, but I really fuck with the top half of this team. Your low
Mid div
tiers
was
I do
cooking.
not love, but they're
Okay, but
all
Monkey Dory is the
usable.
GOAT though.
That's like the mon I hate the most on this team.
Okay,
Which
but
one?
he's the GOAT.
But like
Which one? Monkey Dory?
Monkey Dory, yeah. I wish I had better removal because I don't love like I wish you had a spinner. That's a
Shit,
common
2 months
problem.
with defog.
But
Or I
yeah,
guess the top 2 get it too, but you're not wanting to
you
run
get
it.
2 real defoggers who, and then you have so much hazards between Quagsire, fucking
Gligar.
Gligar. Yeah, both have both of them. You force nice
Dang.
prep
This
with
team,
Gligar
does,
and
Bogan.
this, team does have this team does have crazy offense though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's got
Those
decent
top
Gligar and Flag is
4 are
hazards
very
in
good.
HP legal. It's not great, but
No, Gligar Quag is very good because they're forcing you.
it's
Like
not
you can't cover both at once.
true. Yeah, I
So
mean that
there's
puts most of
every
Electrics in a
turn
tough
there's
spot.
every matchup there's that 50-50 on do I bring HP grass or do I bring HP ice? And then if they get wrong,
Yeah.
it's rough. Especially
And
if they
most-
argue
I mean, you
for
can-
HP grass
I
because
mean, it's
HP
pretty
ice
safe to
helps with other
it's
things.
pretty safe to just do the HP ice because you want to just fucking smoke Salamence.
Yeah, but then your Quagsire, who's a very decent mon, who's like the only reason Quagsire's 8 instead of I'd say like maybe 10 even is HP grass is there as well as any real special attack. It's like blasting his ass back. Like otherwise he
Yeah.
checks almost every physical attacker in the game, unless except for the after the Trailblaze distribution that definitely helps a lot of mons into it. But overall, I fuck with the team as I said. I love the top 6, the Arc Fairy, Mega Ments, Urshi at Single Strike. I don't think there's gonna be many teams that can switch into all 3 of those, and then Aegislash, offense, defense mon, Rotom Heat, offense, defense mon. And then, again, I don't love your bottom tiers, but I think they're all usable mons, other than Monkey Dory, who is, I don't like that
Okay,
mon.
no, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. You're just a hater.
Yeah, I feel like he already has a grounded poison too. He should want to get rid of the Monkey Dory, but we'll
No,
see
he should get rid of the
if he
focus.
cooks with it.
But yeah, that's my
Overall,
main problem with it.
this is a really good team. The speed tiers are very good. Just the offensive pressure this team has, like Hades was saying again, with those first 3-4 mons is very good. This is a good team.
So going
Yeah, keep Monkey Dory. Don't listen to Hades. Don't drop Monkey Dory.
moving into the top 4, I have this at second even. It is Tasmu, who I really fuck with. Freetle fucks with a little less. And then Psyguy does not fuck with it. He hates this team. Look at that.
And Psyguy is stupid.
I do not hate this team.
Psyguy
Put it at
hates
6
this
best.
team. It's a terrifying team, though. Those are a very, very good top 3 Ubers. Of amazing Terra Captain. 2 very good pivot duo. A very good Dark for all the oppressive ghosts in the tier. Like, it's not the best because it is passive, but it's very usable. Like, and then when it comes to my problems, it fully comes down to your lack of hazards. You have the 2 rocks, and one of them does not want to run rocks. The other doesn't really want to run rocks either, since it's a Terra Great Tusk.
No, that's it. That's all he
And
has.
I'm gonna
It's
ignore
just
your
that.
last two because those ones don't fucking matter. But you have amazing 7-man team.
Okay, but he could be getting Regigigas.
I don't care what you do with your 1-pointer. You could grab a fucking Mudkip if you want, man.
He's on the kill leaderboard now.
I think my issue with this team also is it's just very passive. It has
What?
offense, like Arceus Poison
What is
does hit
passive
hard, but it's just,
besides Umbreon?
What the?
and not compared to like some of the other Ubers though. Like the top two Ubers are good, but they're just kind of not like as
This one is
offensive as some
Arceus
of the
Poison
other
passive.
Arc
top
Poison
tier
is
Ubers.
not passive. You're smoking something. That's a 100 BP, 120 attack mod, just like every other Arceus with a boosting plate.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's like more of like a bulky Arceus. Like it's not like a
Every
set up and kill Arceus.
it can do either.
Yeah, but it doesn't typically do that.
In fact, no. In
No,
fact, it loves to set up and kill because it can't
usually
be
offensive.
poisoned. You can click Call Mine.
Yeah,
I think this is just you not knowing how fucking Ubers works.
I don't know.
I think this is just Psyguy being
Psyguy
stupid.
doesn't fucking know Ubers, dude. You should be higher, and I will stand by that. But going into our top three, I still very much so fuck with this team. We have Rathmon, who my biggest problem by far is you have no fucking physical attackers. You
He's
have
got
Flygon, you have Psy Strike on Mewtwo. It is. Which it's probably because everyone's loading up mono special checks. Then Flygon comes out and it's like, oh, everything's special invested? Let me just fucking EQ my way through. But now that's Kill Leader, I feel like people should at least put a little bit of time into prepping for it, which should definitely hurt it a lot.
I mean, yeah, like the physical offense is like higher press.
I also very much so you wish you I very much wish you had a dark type. But other than that, that's it for my problems. Just I wish you had a better physical attacker, and I wish you had a dark type. But those aren't the end of the world because the rest of your team is very, very good.
Yeah, this team is very good.
I think when you have as bulky a dark resist as RC is fighting and as good a ghost immune as Terapagos, you can get away with no dark.
Okay, but what about psychics? Like opposing Mewtwo? Mewtwo Y?
Like stored power. Stored power could fuck you.
Yeah, stored power is well cold. I don't think you have great phasing. You don't.
Actually, you got Roar Trap and Trap.
He has it, but he doesn't have good phasing, I'd say.
Yeah.
No, not really.
But overall, as I said, I love this team. It's I have it in fourth.
Yeah.
We all kind of agreed this team's very good. Top 5 is very respectable.
Yeah, the speed tiers on this team are really good. The Terra Captains are all decent. They're not great Terra Captains, but they're all
amazing, but they're all good and very usable. I think Raikou might be a little overpriced. But like, I like Raikou. I can't hate on Raikou.
This team also does have two it has good removal too between Terapagos and Corviknight, which both remove hazards very well.
And going into second, we have Meister, who Freetle loves, Psyguy likes, and then me and Block absolutely despise this team. Clearly, we have it in third. Ugh. But I've written down overall team's very good, solid bulky offense. Biggest problem is your removal is like it's arc flying. It's your 3-point Avalugg, which I guess it can Terra. Your Terra Captains aren't great. I wish you had a third Uber. I do have written. I wish you had a third Uber instead of the combination of Wo-Chien plus Heart Flame. I think you could get a good Uber with that and then get a different dark type lower. Or like an Uber dark type maybe and then a different something else type.
Well, he already has a dark type. He has Ting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, why I don't get why Wo-Chien's here. I think you drop Wo-Chien, you drop Ogerpon, you get a better Uber and then a shit mine in the end. And I think this team might even be first for me.
This team is insane.
But if you want to talk about what you love, Freetle, how it makes first for you.
It's fat as shit.
It is very fat, and it has a decent wish passer. Like Vaporeon can pass pretty well. without being
Not
super
only that, a
massive.
lot of these fat mons get like recovery moves anyway. Arceus flying, fucking Goldango, Ogerpon's not fat, but it gets synthesis. Avalok gets
I
recover,
don't
Wish,
think I've seen
Vaporeon.
Ogerpon Heartflame specifically run synthesis.
No, but I'm saying just in general, it
I've
has.
seen it. I saw it one time.
Even like a sub synthesis set isn't unheard of. I could see it cooking in certain games.
Yeah, E-Turn. I like E-Turn a lot. I love that mon.
Yeah, I
Ting
love
Wu
Etern. It's a
Goldango
great
is
mon.
good.
But like he only
Arc
has.
Flying is really strong offensive. Like I
I
think
wish I had one more
everything just
Uber.
works well.
Like as I said, I don't like the Ogerpon very much. I think that could be a much better mon. Especially
Like,
since it made
I
you
think
grab a
one
random
more Uber
Wo-Chien.
could improve this team, but I still think it's just really good as it is.
Yeah,
No, this team is fantastic.
Like that's the only nitpick we can really come up with. I think you've definitely got yourself a very good team. But moving on to first,
Maybe
we have an overall agreed first, besides Freetle, who still has you in second. So like very well deserved placement here. I think this team's a very cracked Uber trio between Mega Mewtwo Y, a very good defensive Art Grass that can still do offensive sets. You got Xianpao, who's very anti-meta for a lot of these. Like I don't love the Typhlosion Probopass, but who fucking cares? They're 6 points. The Probopass is fine actually. It's 1 point. Typhlosion could be slightly better. Who fucking cares? It's a Typhlosion. Like
no, this team is very good. I think my only issue is like, I mean, not even the removal's good. He's got what defog.
Yeah, he's got
1, 2,
Don
3
Fan. He has
mon.
Defog, Art
got
Grass,
Don
Rotom
Fan.
Fan if he really needs. I think Cleavar technically gets Defog, but like,
It does. It doesn't want it though because it sets hazards.
Yeah.
Overall, this team is insane though. The top three are very good.
bad.
Annihilates and insane Terra Captain.
Yeah,
and then just having chain power right underneath that team is crazy.
I think you have 7 mons you cycle between with the occasional Rotom Fan and type Null slapped in. Just to like help with your pivots into Mega Mewtwo Y.
Freetle, tell us why you hate this team.
Yeah, Freetle, tell us why you think this team sucks.
I mean, I can't really do that because it's as I think my main nitpick is the fairy resist are not great at all. Also
that's very fair.
There isn't
Yeah.
a ground poison. Like I don't know how you didn't catch that.
That's
no grounded
true.
poison.
That is very true. Yeah, so he has to like tear his Annihilate to poison.
You might have to move this down.
No, I still fuck with the team.
I just think
those
two
things really make me.
Well, one mon fixes both of those. Like swap your Typhlosion to combine Typhlosion Probopass, maybe even type Null into a bulkier poison.
You also should probably have like an actual steel type.
I don't know how much he needs it though. He's just got that very good defense.
Like this team is like Scarf Xerneas pulling up on this team and it's cooked.
Yeah. Fairy types are a problem that we definitely missed out. Like he has again, I think if the fairy's that oppressive, you run Terra Annihilate. But if it's not that oppressive, then fairies are just rough in general. But I think it's definitely workable. That's definitely an annoying thing that we did somehow miss.
Like I caught it. I think it's still good enough to get to the number 2 spot. I just don't think it's number 1 at all. Like that is too flattering an issue.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's it for these PRs. So thank you all so much for watching.
This is still the best team. And yes, thank everybody. Thank you.
Also, I might have. We move this team down. It also just doesn't have a good. It doesn't have a good ghost switch.
It has it has like just fat.
That's it.
That's type null.
I mean that's like
it's just type null.
From an immunity standpoint, yes. It only has type null.
Freetle's the only one that can switch in, bro.
Like, he does have a very good
Like-
Punisher in like Chien Pao. Nothing likes a crunch. If you get that term wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Shampoo can punish it,
The
but
defense on
it
this
can't
team is
switch
off
in
the chart.
itself. Like,
They can once.
strong ghost types are gonna 2 a KO with Shadow Ball. Let's be dead ass.
Yeah, but it's like it's good at revenging them at least. I don't know,
Yeah.
we probably put this a little too high, but that's how PRs go. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next season, I guess. Bye.